Hi guys, welcome to my channel today. My name is Mariana, and on today's video I'll be showing you how I made this maxi A-line dress you are seeing. So this is a maxi A-line dress with bias strips design at the front. So for this tutorial I'll be needing about I use 4 yards of fabric. So let's get started. For the measurements, we'll be needing we need a shoulder measurement of 16 divided by 2 give me 8. We need bust measurement, our waistline measurement, our hip measurement, our full length, round sleeve measurement, and our sleeve length. So I'll be starting with my shoulder measurement. So my shoulder is 16 divided by 2, that will give me 8. So I have 8 for the shoulder line, on the shoulder line there. So on that point I will come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. Then from there I'm going to mark my armhole measurement, which will give me 8 inches. Then I'm going to connect the points together to give me my chest line. So that I'm just connecting my shoulder slope to the neckline, after which I'll go over and take my bust point measurement. Here I'll be taking my bust measurement. So that will give me 10, and on that line I'm going to mark my bust measurement divided by 4 plus extra 2 inches allowance. So I'm going to add extra 2 inches allowance. Remember, this is a free gown, so we need a lot of ease. So I think 2 inches should be okay. Just take your bust measurement divided by 4 plus extra 2 inches. So after that I'm going to take my waistline. There is no need for under bust because we are not making a breast cut. So for my neckline, I'm using a neck width of 3 inches and a neck depth of 4 inches. So I'm going to connect it together like so, and I'll use my curve or my free hand to get a nice curve there. So I'm just perfecting my shoulder slope. Okay, so now I'm going to divide my armhole by 2, and I'm going in by half an inch to give me my armhole, the front armhole depth. So I'm connecting that point to my bust measurement on the armhole. So there you have it. Right after that, that is when I will take my waistline. My waistline is, I marked 18. I took 18 inches from my waistline, and on that point I drew a straight line, and I took my waist measurement divided by 4 as well. My waist is 40 divided by 4, that will give me 10 plus extra 2 inches allowance, and that will give me 12 inches. So that's my 12 inches right there, and I will mark it. So the next measurement I'll be taking is my hip measurement. So from my waistline down, I took 9 inches for my hip measurement, and on that point I'm going to mark my hip measurement divided by 4 plus extra 2 inches for seam allowance and for ease. Then I'm going to connect all together, connect my waistline to my hip. And on that hip line, I'll continue to mark my measurement down, making sure I'm slanting into the A shape until I get to the full length. You can see I'm not making a straight line. I'm slanting it till I get to the end of the full length of the fabric. So I'm just smoothing that out, and this is the full length of the measurements I took. This is the full length of the gown. For the full length I use 62, because the person I'm making this for is a very tall lady. So that's our full length, and on this line we have our hip, and we have our waist. This is our waistline, and our bust line. So that's it. I'm just going to cut everything I've marked out. So I'm cutting the full length. The whole fabric is on the table, and I was trying to navigate. So by pushing to one end of the fabric to the other, so I'll be able to cut. So now I'm cutting the armhole. And when I'm done cutting the armhole, I'll go over to the neckline and cut it out. So I'm just cutting the neckline now. It's a very simple tutorial, very simple A-line dress, maxi A-line dress, because it's a full length, full flowing A-line dress. So this is all for the front. So I'm going to use this front now to cut out the back pattern, the back piece. It's basically the same thing. I'm just going to add a tiny bit of allowance there, so that I can use that for either for my zipper, but later I decided not to use zipper for this gown. I just did a facing and a loop for button at the neckline, a tearing at the neckline. You are going to see it, guys. So for the back neck measurement, this is I took 1.5 inches down for the depth, and I used the same measurement for the width as that of the front. So I'm cutting my armhole, just cutting the same thing I have, and that is it. So I'm going over to cut my sleeve. My sleeve measurement, like I said, is 12 and 11 inches. So I'm just using free hands to draft out the sleeve. The tutorial on how to draft out your short sleeve and long sleeve is on the channel as well. So I'm just cutting out my quick short sleeve there. I'll be attaching to the armhole. So I'm cutting out a facing for the front. This is a facing. Just fold a piece of fabric, fold it into two, place your front piece on it, and get exactly what you have on the neck, on the fabric, on the piece of fabric. Trace out your shoulder, as you can see, and you just go down like, let's say, about 5 or 6 inches down from the neckline, and cut out your facing. This facing will be used to turn the front of the gown so that we'll have a neat finishing. So this is it, guys. This is the facing for the front. If I place it on top, you can see that we have exactly the same neckline and shoulder. So I'm going to cut the facing for the back as well. I decided not to use zipper for the back. I want to use a facing as well. Then I'll have a tearing and a loop at the back for button. So I'm just cutting the same thing I have on the neckline and also on the shoulder. The only difference with the facing is that it's going to be shorter than the actual dress. So this is it, guys. Just tearing the pieces into two so that I'll have one for both sides, for one on each side of the back piece, because the back piece has a tearing. So I'm going to take it over to the same machine and sew the neckline. I'm going to notch, turn over like so, and top stitch. I'll do the same thing for the front as well. So this is the front. I'll place the facing on it. You can see it's having the same shape, and I'm going to sew on it by 1/2 inch all through, after which I'll notch and top stitch as well. You can iron interfacing. You can iron stay on the facing to give it firmness. So I'm going to draft before using the facing on this gown, on this front piece. I want to add my bias strip first. So you can see I've mapped out the lines for my bias strips, and I've also sewn my bias strips on the front, and I've turned it with the facing as well. So this is the back. I've also turned the facing, and that is the tearing I was talking about, that's going to be at the back as an opening to allow the dress pass through the neck. So that's a tiny loop there. I'm going to fix it on one side, and I'll fix button on the other side. So guys, this is it. I have joined the shoulder together, just remaining the sleeve. So before that, this dress is going to have a pocket. So I'm going to measure down from my armhole. I'm going to measure 7 to 8 inches down. I took 7 inches down from my armhole, like from your armpit down. You measure 7 inches and mark your pocket. That's where your pocket is going to start from. So this is the pocket. This is the pieces of the pocket. So I've marked down 7 inches from both sides, and I'm going to start attaching the pocket from that 7 inches downwards. To attach one, I cut out 4 pieces, so 2 for one side of the pocket and the other 2 for the other side. So I'm just going to attach it straight like this. It's not difficult, very easy. Just attach one on one side, the other one on the other side, and that's it, guys. So this is the finished look after joining everything. This is the finished look. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you find it helpful, please like and subscribe, share, and give me your feedback below. Thanks for watching. Bye.